Welcome back to another episode of Countdown to Geek Town. This is Eric, along with my co-host Jesse.
How you doing?
Pretty good. This week's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode. Jesse's been on vacation for the weekend.
A small one. It was a whole lot of driving.
Quick getaway.
Yeah. And so, thankfully, I made it back in time today to sit down and record episode 7.
Yep. Almost 2 months.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Almost double digits.
Yeah. We'll start this week off, as we always do, with a little bit of news. What do you got?
Well, let's see here. I have breaking news. Civil War opened internationally first, as most movies have started to do. Mm-hmm. It's a bigger market. You know, I can kind of understand that. I just hate that I don't get to see it right yet.
All right.
But it opened up this weekend, and it actually opened up to a $200 million weekend.
Wow.
200.2 to be exact.
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous. And with that in mind, it's going to chart better than the Avengers did. So it's going to be record smashing galore.
Has all the reviews been positive or what?
Yeah. Everything about it is positive, which is really good because we've seen 11 of these or something like that, so we know they can make good movies. We don't need critics to tell us that it's going to be good. I mean, I'm already pumped for it. For sure.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to kick off the whole season. I mean, Batman Superman kicked off the season, really. I mean, I guess we'll see Daredevil.
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Man, I do that all the time. Deadpool kicked it off, and then a month later it was Superman, Batman. Now it's this a month later. So it's like as soon as I get a little reprieve, I'm back at it. You know? And I think it's going to be that way all year long.
Do you think this will affect the domestic box office at all?
Domestic. Oh, the international sales?
Yeah, being so high, you think it'll make it higher here? Or?
It might actually push the as if people weren't going to go in troves to see it anyway, but it might actually make people who were on the fence about it, it might sway them. Yeah. That being said, you know how everybody said Batman Superman was a flop and it didn't do good and it was a terrible movie, ranked like 20%. It's past Iron Man. It's past Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow, I didn't realize it passed Guardians.
And I think I can't remember. I read something about it. It was pretty close to passing another big Marvel movie, which is kind of strange because it's been hush for sure. Maybe it's the international numbers that are pushing it.
Right.
But yeah, I literally just read that on the internet right before you come over, so I wrote that down real quick.
Well, since we're on DC, I have a kind of a DC note on here.
Okay.
Says the Flash director has left over creative differences.
Really?
His name's Seth Grahame-Smith, who I looked him up because I'd never heard of him, and he's actually never directed anything.
Really?
So, I mean, it could be a positive. I mean, I don't...
Oh, so that's why they were saying... I read that Aquaman's director will leave after Aquaman.
I have that on here too. Well, I actually have a different thing. James Wan is directing Aquaman, and he's already feeling a tremendous amount. This is a quote: a tremendous amount of trepidation, and he is deciding if the film is quotation worth the hassle.
Yeah, you know why? Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
it's always Warner Brothers. Stop expecting these people to make a hit and set it up to be a hit. Just make a good movie.
Yeah,
you have a built-in fan base already. Millions of people go watch comic book movies every time it comes out. It doesn't have to be the number one. You don't get that overnight at all.
Right.
So, I mean, you just have to make a good movie and quit messing with...
Stop expecting it to be go up there to try and break Titanic or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just make a good movie, and once you establish that universe, then you can start planning ahead, like Marvel did.
Yeah, make one decent, good starting spot, and then go from there. I thought that's what they were doing with Justice League, but if they're going to pressure them every time, or not Justice League, I'm sorry, Batman, Superman, it's going to be terrible for them. Now, that being said, I actually have some DC news as well. Okay. They were talking about possible Batman movie stuff that Ben Affleck was working on.
Right, the one he wrote himself.
Mm-hmm. And everybody was thinking Red Hood, because of the obvious Robin, Death in the Family, reference. But it actually said today that the Batman movie is rumored to have lots of villains. Now, I was thinking, could this be Hush? Because that's a good starting. I said when I handed it to you that this is a good starting spot for anybody coming into this universe, because it pretty much lays out like 12 or 13 villains that he deals with in that storyline. So, I mean, it would kind of be a universe building thing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Only for Batman.
Let's see. The next one I have is NBC Universal, which is owned by Comcast. I didn't realize that. Buys DreamWorks Animation for $3.8 billion. Billion.
So DreamWorks is only worth what, $200 million less than LucasArts was?
Yeah, that's crazy. And this is the company that bought you. Their big hits are Shrek and Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Disney bought Marvel and LucasArts each for $4 billion each.
Yeah.
So DreamWorks is a money-making machine. I mean, yeah, I can kind of see that because kids' movies, they make bank.
Well, I have on here since 1998's Ants. That was their first DreamWorks movie. DreamWorks has brought in, it says more than, but it's just a little bit over $5 billion. So in almost 20 years, they brought in $5 billion.
So how are they worth?
They're buying them out right now for 3.8.
75% of their total revenue for 20 years.
It just seems like maybe NBC is like kind of planning on the future, like hoping. Because I'm looking at their list right now of like the last 4 or 5 movies, and it's Kung Fu Panda 3.
We could have inflation on that as well.
Yeah, I didn't know if it had that on there. But Kung Fu Panda 3 is their latest one, which made
a lot
total, like domestics and international, $504 million.
That's a lot.
Before that was Home. That was the Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. He was the alien. It wasn't very good. I didn't like it that much. But it cost $135 million.
But how much money do them damn Minion movies make?
But that's not DreamWorks.
Are you sure?
It's not on here.
I thought for sure that was DreamWorks.
It's not on here. Let me look at it.
I could be wrong. Just why don't you look that up? Because I was down in Universal, and they had Minions there, and Shrek. I mean, it could be somebody else. Are you looking that up? Okay.
I'm just tuning out.
Well, I was gonna say some more news I have here. Carl Urban, you know who that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he played in a movie called Dread, which was an extremely awesome movie. Well, he posted today that he was at a comic book convention in Indiana or something like that, where he was asked if he would ever come back and play as Dread, because if you've ever seen this movie is awesome. Dread is a good comic book movie. It's very similar to it. Well, he says he's in talks with either Netflix or Amazon to make a streaming show.
A series.
Yeah, a series of Dread itself. So I, for one, am looking very much.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie a lot. Yeah, I've never read the comics, but I've heard that it's more closer to the comics than old Sly's.
What's his name? Armand Asante or whatever his name is.
I liked that movie because I grew up in that time.
I loved it too. It had that big giant robot, but it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Looking back on it now, but
it's got Rob Schneider in it.
It's 95. I mean, come on. It was the era of cheese for sure. Yeah. Did you find anything out about Minions?
It says Illumination. I don't know who that is.
Me neither.
That's on their poster. It says Illumination presents Minions.
Did you type in?
I'm on IMDb.
I was gonna say maybe type in does DreamWorks own?
Who made Minions?
Who owns it? Maybe.
Minions. Clickety. Universal. Distributed by.
Boom! Look at the big brain on Jesse.
That's not NBC.
That's Comcast. Universal.
It's not on their list of movies.
Well, your list is wrong.
I'm on Wikipedia. Wikipedia's never wrong.
You don't need Wikipedia. You have Jesse. Jesse. Not the smartest man in the room, but I know dumb shit.
It's not on here. It doesn't count. You're wrong.
No.
Moving on. What do you got next, bitch?
Oh, me?
It's my turn.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This one's one I'm kind of excited about.
Okay. He's excited about...
Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son.
Okay.
Who's continued to do... I know he did like the Jim Henson Creature Shop on Sci-Fi. It's like kind of like a reality type show.
It's a whole show? Okay.
That's over with now.
Okay.
It was really good. It was like a face-off, but with puppets and shit. It was fun. I liked it. They never made another one. But he's continued on with Jim Henson's work, doing puppets and everything. He is going to be directing a R-rated comedy called The Happy Time Murders.
What?
Yeah. It's going to be a puppet and humans together, just like the Muppet movies.
Like Muppets or Sesame Street or something like that.
And Jamie Foxx is in talks to play the lead.
Okay.
And he's going to be like a straight-laced cop, L.A. detective, who's going to be paired with an unreliable, crass, hard-drinking puppet detective. And it's going to be an R-rated comedy. I love,
Is this from Seth Rogen? This seems like something.
No, but I would like it even more if it was.
It seems like something from his wheelhouse.
Like the
21 Jump Street?
No, the animated hot dog movie. We just watched the trailer for it.
The Sausage Party?
Yeah, Sausage Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just reminds me of something I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in that vein. Yeah. That's all. They said it's been in talks for like a year or two now, but they've actually started casting now, and Jamie Foxx is in talks to be the lead, so I'm excited about that.
That's funny. I haven't even heard or seen anything about that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of things. The Punisher was greenlit for a Netflix series, as we had hoped it would be.
Sorry.
You remember The Punisher from Daredevil Season 2?
Yeah, I got this note too.
Yeah, so mark that off.
Yeah, it's finally confirmed now that they're actually going to greenlight that. People assume that they're going to just because it's popular, but
you never know.
Yeah, I never count it until it actually is announced.
The one person other than Marvel that's doing good moves as far as stuff, and this is, a wheelhouse of Marvel, but it's Netflix. Netflix seems to be...
They do good work.
They know their shit.
Yeah, even if they don't make it themselves, they picked up, like, that Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
They didn't make that, but it was dropped by another company, and they saw that it was a funny idea.
It's got a good potential, for sure. The only thing they did kind of mess up on was Arrested Development.
I liked Arrested Development, but I didn't have any.
I loved the first 5 seasons, but when it come back, I don't know.
See, there's another show that I could put on and watch and enjoy it, but I don't love it.
Well, I think what really took me out of it was that one lady. She did all that plastic surgery and it fucked up her face.
Was it the blonde chick?
Portia or whatever her name is.
I figured that had to be her.
But let's see here. I have, San Diego Comic-Con is big these days. Not with comics, but with entertainment. All these movies and stuff.
Yeah, announcements and shit.
There's actually an announcement that 20th Century Fox pulls out of San Diego Comic-Con. So 20th Century Fox makes all the X-Men movies, Deadpool, Fantastic Four, all that stuff.
Right.
But they pull out of it, which means there's no announcements on a Wolverine 3 that's coming out next year. There's no announcements about anything about Deadpool 2 that's coming out. There's nothing about the Assassin's Creed movie with Michael Fassbender. That's supposed to come out next year. It's all produced by them. I was thinking, we had that post last week about the Inhumans, how Marvel had dropped it from their posts, from their slated movies. Well, What if 20th Century Fox pulled out of San Diego Comic-Con because they're about to sell their rights to Marvel? Because the only reason Marvel was really doing the Inhumans was to make a X-Men type of
universe.
Movie. Yeah. On the Marvel side that wasn't owned by 20th Century Fox. So they might have dropped Inhumans in lieu of taking over the X-Men franchise.
Right.
But with them taking it over, I have no idea where they would go with it. You know, we did several storylines, and hit or miss, they were all pretty good.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking maybe that's why they took Inhumans off.
Yeah, that could be a reason.
Just a thought on that.
Seems kind of weird for them to drop out completely. That seems like a big promotional type thing.
That's where you would want to sell. Hey,
yeah.
You're riding high off Deadpool. X-Men had just come out the month before San Diego Comic-Con. No, it's a month before X-Men comes out, because X-Men's in July and Comic-Con is in June. So why wouldn't you be there?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't need it. Maybe they don't need to press.
That would make sense, but whenever like Superman versus Batman spends hundreds of millions of dollars on advertisement.
On advertisement, you don't need to.
That would make sense, so why would they do it?
I don't know. I only got one more news article. You got any left?
I got 3 small ones.
Okay. You want to do yours, and mine's gaming related.
Okay. Let me do these 3 little quick, knock them out. First one I have is John Krasinski has been cast as Jack Ryan.
Yes.
In the new Amazon series
about
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
I never watched those movies.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I've watched any of them.
No,
I watched the one with Ben Affleck.
Oh, the Sum of All Fears.
Yeah, I've watched that one. I've never saw any of the ones with Harrison Ford or the one with
Chris Pine.
No, before the first one.
Oh, it's not
Baldwin brother.
Alec, is it
Alec?
Is it
not Adam? Yeah. As I said before.
I've seen The Hunt for Red October.
Never seen it.
What?
Never.
I know your dad had it.
No.
What?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
Well, I've seen these movies and read the books.
So you excited for this announcement?
I am.
After seeing him in the Benghazi movie,
I didn't get to see it. No.
Okay, I saw pictures of him.
I want to see it. I'm looking desperately everywhere. It comes out June 7th. I want to see it. I like them.
13th Hour?
Yeah, 13 Hours.
Yeah.
The Soldiers of Benghazi.
Yeah. So, I mean, I liked him in The Office, and it's good to see him, changing roles,
He's
not being
branched out.
typecast.
He's become a more serious thing.
Yeah.
He's kind of, I would say he's very similar to Harrison Ford almost. He can do the funny. He can do the snarky. He can do the action now, apparently. And he's got a super hot wife.
Who's his wife?
Emily Blunt.
That's his wife?
Yeah. Yeah, your face says it all. You're like, oh.
I'm not that hot on Emily Blunt. I don't really care for her that much. She's okay.
She's pretty hot.
Yeah.
She's pretty hot. You were wrong on Wikipedia and you're wrong on this.
Nah. This is a taste thing.
Yeah.
And I have good taste, and you don't.
No.
Next note. Cell, the book written by Stephen King, they're making it into a movie, and the trailer just dropped.
The trailer did?
The trailer dropped. The trailer looks okay. It stars John Cusack.
Yeah.
Is the main person with also Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. I like Cusack.
Yeah, I like both of them. The trailer looks okay. They were both in a Stephen King adaptation before this in
1408 or 98?
08. Which was a good movie. I liked it. As far as like being based on the book, yeah. And this is, like you said, it seems kind of like zombies. It's everybody that's on their cell phone when this one transmission broadcasts, it just like scrambles their brain and just like...
Is it like rage?
Yeah, essentially. Makes them just like crazy, angry, just kill anything they see, each other, people, anything.
Do you have to be talking on it for you to be affected?
You had to have it to your ear.
Okay, cool. I don't talk on my phone.
Yeah. I want to say in the trailer it shows him FaceTiming with his son. And I think it fucks up his son, like, a little bit.
Huh.
Not completely. The book was really good. I liked it a lot. The trailer looks okay. But I try not to base everything on just on the trailer.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. And for some reason, I thought it was about a killer. For whatever reason. I thought it was about a killer who would leave mementos on their cell phone for something.
There was a different movie called Cell, or The Cell, or cell phone or something like that. I want to say it had.
Maybe it's cell phone.
I want to say Chris Pine or one of the Chris Evans or something like that in it. It was a good movie, but it's
Cellular has
Cellular,
Chris Evans.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. But it looks okay. Not great, but
I'll have to watch that.
The source material is good, so I'll watch it just to see how they adapt it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Did you ever watch that Independence Day trailer?
I don't think I've seen the newest one.
Didn't do his homework.
No, I did my homework. Bitch. And my last note is actually kind of, I've never even heard of it, called Kubu and the Two Strings.
Kubu and the Two Strings.
It's an animated movie.
Okay.
And it looks really cool. It's like a little kid whose parents, I think, are killed or something. Mm-hmm. And all he has is this little guitar. I think that's from his mom. Mm-hmm. And he can play it and do magic with it, essentially. The animation style looks a lot like Coraline.
Okay.
But more polished, like more clean looking.
Okay.
It just looks really cool. It's a lot of samurai type looking, which I usually don't like that type of stuff. But
so this was a trailer you watched?
Yeah, it was a trailer. It dropped. Like I said, I never even heard of it.
Well, I've been away, so I haven't.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It looks really cool. Just like a fun animated movie, if you like those.
Yeah.
I do. So.
Well, you know I do.
Yeah.
But, I haven't seen anything. We were up in the mountains, and you can't.
No signal.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, when you get a chance, look at it. And
I'll look at
maybe
it. Maybe
next week you can comment.
Yeah. I'll look at it after Game of Thrones tonight. Unfortunately, we record the day of Game of Thrones, so it puts our podcast
almost a week behind.
Yeah. Well, it kind of it could be good for us, but bad for our audience.
If they want something,
if they want it, if they want it like right away. But for us, it's kind of like a refresh.
Yeah.
Right before the episode. But let me do the last bit of news, and then we might.
That's right. I forgot you had one more.
We'll get into some Game of Thrones. So I said I had some gaming news, and there's several gaming newses. Jesus. There's several news articles that come up all the time. I just don't feel like talking about them. Right. It's kind of like a lull right now. This one it made me so mad that I think the lack of information is what's made me mad.
Is the Nintendo?
The Nintendo NX. Okay, so
I've been wondering. I've wanted to ask you, but I wanted you to save it for the pod because I really haven't heard anything about it. So I want to see what got you so up.
Well, okay, so
uppity.
Nintendo made a ton of money off Wii.
Mm-hmm.
The games on it were shit.
Everybody bought it, and nobody plays it anymore.
I mean, Wii Sports. That's it. That's all they bought it for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I would have to sell Wii's when I worked at GameStop. Try to sell games, trying to polish a turd, pretty much. To be 100% honest. But the Wii U come out, and the only game that I want on it is Mario Maker, and the backwards compatibility with all the other ones. Well, they showed off the new Zelda. I like Zelda.
Just for the new system or for the Wii U?
Both.
Okay,
but we didn't know that at the time. When they first showed it off, it was like, oh, coming later to Wii U. And then they're like, oh, well, this will probably be the system launcher for that. Okay. Well, they've now stated that they're not going to be at E3 at all. They're going to show off Zelda, and it's going to be running on, I assume, the Wii U. But they're not even going to talk about their new system at all. They don't want to distract people from buying Zelda. I think
for the old system.
Yeah, the last Zelda game, Skyward Sword, which I didn't like it because you had to do the motion controls and all that stuff, and I was working 3 jobs, and I just wanted to come home and grab a controller and play my game, not swing my arms around and all that stuff with it. So I didn't even finish it. It was kind of a shitty game, but it still sold like 7 million copies. So this new Zelda game is more like a Skyrim. It's open world. You can go everywhere in it. You don't have to do a set amount. So a lot of people were riding high on it, and they're looking forward to it. But we know nothing about the NX. And it's kind of weird because it's releasing at the end of their fiscal year.
This year?
No, it's releasing March of 2017.
Okay, so right at the beginning of the year, which seems kind of a weird time to release a console.
Well, they usually release it around Christmas time because
that's
Santa
the
Claus,
big seller.
That's people are going to get Santa for the kids and all that stuff. So most of the time, companies will do their figures April for the tax return stuff. So they're going to have a full fiscal year.
Yeah.
They'll, with them releasing in the holiday season, they have they have 3 or 4 months where they can pad the numbers on their year and show a profit, which is really weird because they're going to do it right at the end. So they'll have 1 month to show what they're made of, and then it's going to be filed under that books. So if it's terrible, they're going to have a full next year
of horrible sales
with a project that ain't even on the books for that year. And if it's horrible. So it just kind of made me mad because of the lack of information about it. I don't really care at this point. I just want it to be HD and have a controller and no motion things. There's rumors online that it's going to be like kind of a streaming thing, kind of like a Chromecast. It's a little box. You'll have an HDMI out cord you plug into your TV, and you got all your games on it.
You stream the games? Like you don't even download them?
I don't know. You'll have it downloaded to your box. Yeah, that will be 100% fine with me on the old games.
Yeah,
not for the new games that they want me to pay $60-$70 for.
Yeah, I mean, if everything that came out was like half price or something, cheaper, I could see that because I've bought, like on my PlayStation 4, I've bought several games and downloaded them. I don't have the physical media anymore, which I used to think was a big deal, and I can see where it's going now. It's nice not having to get up and change out discs or whatever.
And this is a big issue. The reason why games are $65.83 when you go buy them is because you got to factor in shipping costs, manufacturing costs, all that stuff. So tell me why a digital copy of the same game costs the same amount.
Right.
It shouldn't.
No, and you also you can't sell it. Like say you get tired of it when
you cannot sell the rights.
Yeah. So I mean you're losing money that way. So why would not be cheaper?
Well, they
don't have to do it.
It's part of an old system, and people let them get away with it pretty much. They have these set contracts, I guess. But that was my last little bit of gaming stuff. When we can get more into the gaming when E3 starts rolling around.
Yeah.
Like the only game I'm looking forward to right now is Doom, and the multiplayer on that was
not
horrible.
fun. I didn't like it.
But I'm not going to Doom for the multiplayer. I wasn't that multiplayer guy on Doom for sure. I do like the way the singles, the story mission is looking like. It's looking like the Doom of old, to go to hell, all that stuff. And I actually read an article where the hell difficulty on the game is actually so hard the developers can't beat it. So it should be interesting, and I am looking forward to that and Uncharted. But unfortunately, I just played those games once through, get the story, which I love Uncharted, but I never repeat Uncharted.
Right. I don't play many games over once I beat them.
Yeah.
There's some games I get to a point like if it's, I get stuck at one point and want to play it 3 or 4 times, and each one takes 30 minutes. I'll just quit and I'll never play the game again.
I'm a big story guy, and if the story is there, I'll play it for sure. If I keep getting stuck because of some stupid thing in the game, like a glitch or something, it really bugs me.
See, I'm on the opposite. I don't care about story. I just want to explore. I like open world games just to roam around, do whatever I want. Because a lot of times I don't have time. I might have 10 minutes this time, an hour and a half in the next.
Gotcha.
So
okay, so that was all our news.
Mm-hmm. I thought I'd touch on the draft just a little bit, and then we'll go into our Game of Thrones.
Okay, because I've been severely lacking in my draft knowledge because I have not had TV, and I didn't think it would affect me this much, but it's affected me so much, and seeing Anthony talk about it so much that we call it DirecTV, and they're coming out tomorrow. So I'm going to have the Sunday ticket at least, so that'll be good.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy draft. I didn't watch it. I kept up with it as it was drafting.
That one guy lost millions of dollars.
Laramie Tunzel. who was originally thought to maybe go to the Titans at number 1 until they traded down to the Rams, or traded out to the Rams. Actually dropped all the way to 13 because somebody hacked his Twitter account and posted a video of him smoking weed out of a gas mask / bong contraption. Supposedly, he says it's from before he was in college, and like I've read that he's passed like 20 drug tests and never had a problem. So, I mean,
I liked his press conference.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it.
He was very honest. He went out there and answered everything. Was brutally honest with it. He's like, look, man. He's like, I do dumb stuff when I was a kid. Been in college, hadn't touched it. Said yes. I did ask my college coach for money because my mama's power needed. Yeah, I needed to pay the power.
That's
bill.
Another thing was right before his press conference. Somebody hacked his, I think his Instagram account and posted text messages between him and his coach, asking his coach to pay his mom's rent. Which, when you think about it, I mean, he's, like Reggie Bush. I think they bought him vehicles and stuff like that. It's just somebody asking for to pay their mom rent. At least it's for a good cause. It's not
They're talking more and more about how college athletes should at least get some money or something. Maybe rights to the jerseys they sell or something like that, because they bring in billions of dollars for these colleges, and tuition is still $40,000 a year.
Yeah, but they get free college, don't they?
They get free college.
So yes. I mean, that's the only thing I have is I don't think they should get paid because they're getting. But people are, other people.
They're not automatically getting free colleges. They're getting free college on the stipulations that they keep their grades above a certain GPA. Yeah. That they don't do dumb stuff, of course, and all this other things. But maybe they should get like percentage rights or something like that.
I could see if, like you said, jersey sales or something like that. I don't think they should be paid to go to that college.
No,
like a bonus or
I don't
vehicles, stuff like that. Yeah,
I don't mean that. I mean maybe like jersey sales, maybe appearance sales or something like that. Yeah. But I do not think they should get paid in college, because then
they're already getting. Other people are going to college and getting giant debt that they're accruing. Yeah. But so
they at least think
they're not having to do that. But like other than that, there was a bunch of trades up and down, but I'm not gonna go over all those. I just
like I said, I'm pretty. This draft was not my info draft at all, but the number 1 pick, they. I can't believe they had something against his hands being small.
I read
these tiny hands.
One thing I read about Wentz was that the Browns, Hugh Jackson, was big on him because he had such big hands, and all the quarterbacks that he had coached or seen had large hands, and that was like a stipulation for him.
Russell Wilson has some.
Yeah. But he's also traded out and didn't draft a quarterback, so I didn't read anything about. I was surprised. Like I don't know much about college players, but I read a lot about the draft, and everybody said that Wentz was going number 1.
But like the day before, one guy, Mettenberg or something like that, was really high on what's his name, Joff,
Jared Goff, I think.
Goff. Was really high on him, and then all of a sudden he shot up in all these polls. Yeah, like it was like a sleeper hit almost.
Which might be a good thing for the Eagles because they drafted Wentz. I don't know. But I'm just going to talk about the Titans because that's where we're from, Tennessee, so that's who we care about.
Pretty excited about them this year.
Yeah, I think John Robinson, the new GM, has done a really good job bringing in talent. The trade for
they had 1 or 2 questionable picks for that time.
Yeah,
but in the long run, they can trade or something like that.
Yeah, bringing in DeMarco Murray. To me, was
before the draft, they picked him up in a trade.
Yeah, and just swapping 5th-round picks and they get him. Yeah, which to me, they have to pay him, but
1 year removed from his.
I think the problem with the Eagles was he wasn't a good fit for that scheme. Plus, they had him, Sproles, Ryan Matthews. They just moved them around.
3 major backs.
Yeah, and it's hard to get rhythm when you're constantly swapping out. I think the Titans will do a lot better with him, and drafting Derrick Henry to me. I never understood, before, a couple of years ago, I heard always draft the best player, not the position that you need. And I was like, well, if you don't need a running back, then why would you draft one? But I can understand it more now while I've thought about it. Because, you might draft somebody, you need an offensive guard, but the guy that's there is not going to be your starter, so why not draft like Derrick Henry, who can come in. I mean, DeMarco Murray he's got some wear and tear on him. He has been injured. He's I think his late 20s, which is where running backs start, right when they get around 30 is when they start to peter off. And to have another running back that you can just, 1-2 back and forth, seems like a really smart idea.
He will definitely learn behind him.
Yeah.
So in a couple of years, he might be the leading rusher.
Yeah.
In the NFL. It was the Alabama running back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we did pick up some linemen that we needed.
Yeah, they traded up to get Jack Conklin at number 8 from the Browns.
They traded from the Browns, yeah.
Which I read a lot of people, I know Anthony was really high on him, said that he thought he was actually better than Tunsil. Tunsil seems more like the talent's there, but he hasn't started the entire time. He hasn't had he had an injury-ridden season. So it seems like he's got the talent.
He needs the experience.
Right. Whereas this guy walked on, red-shirted, has, kind of come from a blue-collar type, and just earned his way on and proved that he was really good.
He did the Marky Mark Invincible.
Yeah. Also, Anthony, Jack Conklin just sounds like a Steeler from the 70s.
Yeah.
That name. And I hope he's a player like that,
John Henry.
Yeah. Their second pick, they picked Kevin Dodd from Clemson, a defensive end.
Yes.
Also, I think he played linebacker too. Then they went to nose tackle Austin Johnson, which a lot of people said that there was another guy, Alshon something, that was actually a better tackle. But like I said, I don't know anything about these players. I'm just talking about it.
It's just us.
Yeah. Then it was the Derrick Henry pick. Then it's Kevin Byard from actually MTSU.
Nice.
Safety who in his short college career had 19 interceptions. That's crazy for a safety to have that many.
It seems like when I left MTSU, they got really good at football.
But he's another one that a lot of people hadn't really heard of, but could be a gem. Then they picked I don't even know how you pronounce it. Tajae. Taj Sharp, wide receiver from Massachusetts. Then LaShawn Sims, cornerback from Southern Utah. They really need help on cornerback. Yeah. Then Sebastian Tretola, offensive guard from Arkansas. Aaron Wallace, outside linebacker, which they do need a little bit of.
So we filled a bunch of specialty positions.
Yeah, the later rounds they went in and drafted players that for the position more, for the need.
We have a couple of franchise players, and now we need to fill the roster around them for sure.
And I think he's done a good job, John Robinson, with some of the free agent pickups.
It's actually made me excited for the football season, dealing with the Titans. I've always rooted for them. Of course, you always root for your home team.
Yeah.
For sure. Anytime they're on. But you just haven't felt a fever or a
reason to root for them.
An excitement,
Yeah.
I mean, you can call me a shitty fan or whatnot, but I mean,
going into last year, I was excited for Mariota, but I also knew that was it. I don't remember a lot of big free agency pickups. I don't remember the draft being to me a big deal. Other than Mariota, and a quarterback can't save a team. One player can't.
You would have to have the rest of the team step up astronomically in the Titans' case.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, and this year, while I don't expect them to be a Super Bowl, wild card berth isn't out of the question. They showed flashes. If their defense could finish a game,
their division for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
If their defense could finish a game, they would have won 4 or 5 more games. 3 or 4 at least last year, and another year under Dick LeBeau, the same coach for a whole season. I know a lot of people aren't happy with Malarkey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't pretend to be one of those fans that knows.
He's a legend when it comes to defensive strategies, and having a whole year under his tutelage will certainly
help.
Yes. So, very excited to see what's going to become of it. For sure. Maybe I can go to another game or something. I've only been to one and we lost.
Yeah, I went to one and we won, but I don't really like going to games. I don't like being around that many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather sit at home and watch it.
Yeah, you can come here. We can watch 8 games at once.
I'm excited for the season.
Now, I've been on third shift, so I used to have to work on Sunday, so I'd miss. I never watched a game last year, except for the Super Bowl. Now I'm not on it. I have Sundays off usually, so that's increased my excitement for the football season. Right. So that's it for draft talk. We finally got into some football talk on here.
Yeah, I've been wanting to touch on it a little bit, but I really don't have much to say other than the Titans stuff. So
yeah, well, you can't blame us. It's our hometown or home
also,
state.
Brady's
they screwed Brady.
Stadium.
Yeah.
His what do you call it? Suspension.
Goodell has got to go.
Yeah, he's destroyed football. I'm sorry. I know you want to like help with all the concussions and stuff, but he turned it into flag football pretty much.
Yeah, I mean it's not just flag football. It's about
now you get 2 personal fouls and you get ejected for a game.
It's politics for sure. I like Brady. He's probably my second favorite quarterback. Behind Manning or Peyton for sure. I like Brady. Do I think he really did that? Yeah. Do I think it needs to be punishable underneath that? No. I think they're just going after Belichick where they couldn't get him before.
It seems like Belichick's the team, or the Patriots are the team that got caught, so they keep an extra watchful eye on them, and they caught him again. Whereas I'm sure every team cheats.
Every team
in some way.
They had independent reports that said everybody had a preference to it. And, it couldn't.
I think Aaron Rodgers came out and said that he preferred it overinflated or something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, it just seems the fact that they couldn't even prove it.
Goodell's going after him.
Yeah, it should have been dismissed.
The whole thing should have been like you can't have, it was kind of like a judge and jury all in one kind of situation with him. And it was very strange. And then to come back a year later in appeals court?
Yeah.
Come on. This should not have made it. It's a game. It is a game, I don't know. I mean, it's upsetting for sure because like you said, it's just a joke now when you really think it
feels like
he did that. Okay, look, to put it in perspective, he did that and yet he sat on the Ray Rice video for half a year.
Yeah.
That's
much more of a grievous, offense. Beating the crap out of your wife in a elevator.
Yeah, and I seen it when it happened. I think either you showed it to me or I saw it on Reddit. The day that video surfaced was 6 months before supposedly Goodell saw it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you won't touch domestic violence, but you'll go after somebody for deflating a football?
That's ridiculous.
In which they had them aired up in the second half, and they destroyed the Colts in the second half of that game.
They ran most of that game anyway, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It just, It feels like, and I'll use Manning because I love Manning. I'm the biggest Peyton Manning fan. If this same thing had happened on the Colts, I don't think there would have been the same kind of deal. It's because the Patriots had already been caught cheating, and because already people don't like Tom Brady for some reason.
They don't like him because they won for so long.
Yeah.
And, it's
which seems weird because they came from nowhere.
Yeah.
Like they were good with Bledsoe. They went to one Super Bowl, but it was right before that they sucked for the entire career.
You remember I was
Patriots.
high on them then.
Yeah.
For sure. I made that bet with Robbie.
Yeah.
Where I said he was going to be MVP, and it wasn't even the playoffs.
Yeah. And it just, I don't know, I've never understood why people hate them so much.
Yeah.
I guess maybe people have blinders on. They think that other teams don't do it, and the Patriots only wins because they got caught. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.
We could talk about this all the time, in which we probably will have a mostly football devoted episode later on when it gets closer to football time, for sure.
Right after preseason.
Yeah. Well, preseason. Who watches that?
For preseason games, ridiculous.
Yeah, that's another thing. This should only have two.
2 maximum.
Because you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. It should only be to figure out who's
Here we go again.
filling in your little spots.
All right, let's get off this.
Game of Thrones. Da 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 da.
Like I said before, a recap is a week behind, but maybe it's a refresher.
I'm going to go home and watch the second episode as soon as I leave here.
So that's just, we have to record on Sunday now. Yeah. So
Game of Thrones, season 6?
Season 6, episode 1, The Red Woman.
Yeah.
Which got me pumped. Because beforehand, I was like, all right, she's going to bring back Jon Snow and all is forgiven. She didn't do a damn thing in this
No.
thing, except for expose her old-ass titties. Okay, so...
Episode opens at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We hear the wolf howling. What's his Shadow? Is that his name? Ghost. Yeah. His ghost. We hear him howling over and over again. We see Jon Snow's body laying in the snow, blood pooling beneath him.
Some people say you can see a wolf in his blood.
I didn't see that.
Or a dragon.
I didn't notice anything.
And it might be reaching too much.
It could be there. I just didn't pay attention.
Later on, when they pull his body away from it, Davos, who is probably my favorite character in this series.
I only can remember his name as the Onion Knight.
Really?
Because that's what the little girl calls him. And so I always remember as the Onion Knight.
Davos. He's my favorite character because every decision he has made is one that I would make. And so he seems... Which probably means
he's devoted, but
he'll
also
die soon. That's usually what that means. Because I was high on Jon Snow. I like Jon Snow a lot. Yeah. And when they pull Jon Snow's body away, he stares down at the blood, and they hold on it for a while. But I think they're just holding on it. That's a lot of blood. He's dead.
They take him back to the room. Mm-hmm. Melisandre comes in.
She says that she's like, but I saw him fighting
in the flames or something like that.
In the flames, and
at their home, whatever their home is, Winterfell or something like that. Yeah, that's what she said.
And I think this whole episode is called The Red Woman, not because she does very much in it.
Because this is the one time she feels powerless almost.
She has lost her faith.
Yeah.
She backed Stannis for so long, said, and the minute she left him, he died.
Yeah. And
so she saw both Stannis and Jon Snow go on to do greater things.
Now they're both dead.
And they're both dead. And we know the Lord of the Light can resurrect people. Because you remember...
they're fighting in a cave or something like that.
Yeah, the Hound and Arya met those two guys, and the Hound actually killed one of them.
Yeah.
And the other guy brought him back. It says he's brought him back 7 times.
Yeah. And
he was actually killed by the Mountain and the Hound. So we know he can do it, but... I think her faith might be tested. We'll skip to the end.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there.
So we'll wait on that. But then it goes to...
the Night's Watch, discussing...
Yes.
Essentially admitting that they killed him. I thought that would be more like they try to pin it on somebody or something.
It's really weird because he goes, yeah, I killed him. And then it's like, the Night's Watch is built on loyalty.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you just killed the Lord Commander.
Yeah.
You're not...
I did every command that he gave me. He didn't tell me not to kill him, though. Yeah.
He brings up good points and bad points, for sure.
But, there's usually...
When you're... Say, like, if you're a Night's Watch and you're listening to him, it's like, these people... You fought these people. But at the same time, these people... I mean, Jon Snow is fighting a bigger war than what... what's his name? I don't know. I have a hard time with names on this show.
Which one?
If I don't, the guy who killed him.
It's like Dorne, isn't it? Or Thorn?
Thorn. It's Thorn.
Yeah.
He's fighting the war on the wall. Jon Snow is fighting against the White Walkers.
He's fighting the bigger evil.
He knows about them. The other guys haven't seen it.
He makes a great point that if we don't let them in, they'll get killed and they'll become a part of them, and we'll just have to fight them too.
A bigger army.
Yeah.
Why not them?
Especially if you can make a truce and have them fight with you. Even if they've raped and pillaged or whatever. If they're not doing that now, at least, you can deal with that later.
You stand a greater chance having greater numbers against an offset of a major horde.
Have they... I can't remember. Has Thorne and them seen the White Walkers at all?
I don't think Thorne has. Only Jon Snow and his men have.
Yeah, I remember the whole scene with them sailing the ship away and just like staring.
And it was only like 30 guys.
Yeah.
And those are the same guys that are in that room with him. He said these are only the ones. But here it is again, Davos. He's making a good decision. He says, we don't have to die in this fight.
They're all ready to charge out and just fight.
Yeah, they're all ready. He's like, Jon Snow, more people would follow him. So he's like, go get the wildlings.
Is that where the one guy was going? Mm-hmm. Okay, I assumed, but I didn't know. I had bad memory.
He's like more people owe their lives to Jon Snow than what are in this room.
And that one guy's like, well, lock the door, don't let anybody in.
Because he's going to get the wildling army that they just let in.
All right. From there, it goes to Ramsay Bolton.
I fucking hate Ramsay.
He's just so hateable. The girl that was, I don't remember what she was to him. She's just somebody, a follower, kind of.
It's kind of like a harpy. She was his plaything or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. Sansa and I wrote Dickless. I can't remember names at all.
Damn.
But this whole
Theon Greyjoy.
All my notes are like that.
His name was Theon, but I think they called him Reek.
Yeah, Reek.
In the show.
They were the ones that Reek pushed her off and she died. And it's just like he's sitting there telling how like almost how much she meant to him. And then the one guy's like, should we burn her or whatever? And these words are literally buried, burned. This is a good meat. Feed it to the hounds. It's like, oh, wow. He's so hateable.
Piece of shit, ain't
yeah. And from there it goes back to Sansa and Dickless.
Yeah.
Being chased to the woods.
Which, Sansa, yes, I don't see how they survived the fall from the wall.
Yeah,
but
like
maybe it's a big snowdrift.
Yeah.
Maybe that. I can see that.
They just pushed the girl from the other side.
Yeah.
There's no snow, I guess.
But, okay, so they're crossing a river. If I'm crossing a river and I got a big cloak on, I'm holding that bitch above the water. Yeah. You know, you're going to need a little bit of warmth.
She's so, like, whiny. I mean, you're running from people who are about to kill you, and you're worried you're going to die of being cold.
She has strong points, and I think she's only going to get stronger. But, man, she has some really low points.
Yeah.
And she's been put through a lot. You know, she's not had any kind of... Since her dad basically gave her to Joffrey. That's the last little bit of human decency she's ever had. Was that interaction with her dad. Ever since then, it's been nothing but hell.
Yeah.
And weird-ass Littlefinger wanting to bet her down. I don't know. What a creep show.
Yeah.
He's a good actor, but...
seen it all, the season so far.
I think he might be out.
The whole season?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of which, where the fuck is Bran? He's supposed to be back this season.
Yeah, that's the first episode, though. I guess I shouldn't say that same thing about Littlefinger.
Yeah, but the thing is... They have this season and next season. And that's it, right?
I don't know.
10 episodes?
10
this season? No, I think they only got...
8? 7?
7. And that's next season. So, you have a shit ton of story to get through.
Well, they didn't even have the whole story yet. Mm-mm. The book's not even done, so...
But I think he's got an outliner.
Yeah, he gave him the bullet points.
But anyway...
Yeah, being chased to the woods. They cross the stream like you're always supposed to do when they're running from wolves or hounds and stuff. Get off the scent, which they find them almost immediately.
You're not necessarily supposed to cross the stream. You're supposed to go downstream.
Yeah.
So that way it's not directly across.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, that helps you lose it. It's just going through the water because the water carries it off. They're trying to hide. He says that she died. You know, he's got her head, and of course the hounds run right past him.
Well, it is a good moment here. It shows him hug her. I think it's for warmth.
For warmth, but yeah.
It is if you think about it, it's the first interaction that she's had that isn't strictly something born out of malice. You know, so he's like, okay, head up north. John is the commander of the Night's Watch. Head up there. I'm going to lead him away. And then he literally just steps around the corner.
And they're there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, shit. So he's like, oh, she died.
Yeah,
you know?
So they run to her, and I have here she's saved by the giant lady. Another person's name I cannot remember.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah.
I don't know what her name is in the show. Well,
Captain Phasma.
I have a note about that. I said, it's good to see Gwendolyn Christie actually do something on film this year, unlike Star Wars Episode 7.
Exactly.
Fucking let down.
Yeah. I was really excited for her character.
Yeah. They built her up.
Yeah.
They built her up as this awesome thing.
Yeah. And she looked cool. You know? Yeah. But anyway, I like her character in this show.
Yes.
She's not my favorite, but I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Her and, I can't think of her sidekick's name. Her apprentice.
Starts with a B.
Anyway.
Big Dick.
They fight off, and Reek saves him because he's almost killed. Mm-hmm. She offers her services again, and this time Sansa accepts
it. But she looks to Theon for approval.
Yeah.
And, you know, you remember he's kind of like her older brother.
Yeah.
He grew up that way.
Yeah,
so
trainer,
you know,
but
yeah. But she's looked to him for, you know, because according to her, that's all she's got. So she's going to look to him as a kind of should I or shouldn't I? And so he walks her through the pledge.
Yeah, and also the other guy helps her too. The meat on the table.
He knows his shit.
Yeah. She accepts. From there, it cuts to Jamie coming home with his dead daughter.
Melisandre.
No, that's
the girl. But it starts like that.
I don't know.
Who cares?
Who cares? Anyway, coming home, you see. I don't even know what the woman's name is. Sister Cersei.
You need to write these down.
Horrible with names, dude. Cersei's all excited. She hears that there's a ship coming from.
Then she sees the death shroud.
Yeah, she sees that. The look on his face also, you can tell something's like that.
Well, he's right beside a coffin.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks sad anyway. His little hand.
No more splinters in my dick.
This time they don't fuck on their dead child's body.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't really have much on it. Just them. That's it. I saw it really.
She harkens back to the prophecy.
Yeah,
all three of her kids.
Is that the red woman?
Mm-hmm.
Also, okay.
No, it was the witch.
She said the witch, but I didn't know if that was the red woman.
No, it was a witch. Remember, it started last season. It was her as a little girl. She wandered in, and the witch gave her that prophecy. So 2 down, 1 to go. Then we go to Dorne.
Yeah.
Or was that earlier? Well, anyway, we're at Dorne.
Deadly women kill their family members.
Yeah,
that's my bullet point.
It fucking comes out of nowhere. Why is this bitch going all crazy?
Well, she already was disagreeing with him. Isn't that like her husband's brother or something?
Right.
Her dead husband brother.
But at the same time, Dorne is a paradise. Everybody in it's happy, fed. They're not warring.
Yeah, but they were already. She didn't want to let Jamie take the daughter home and all that, so she killed her, with the kiss or whatever. So she already didn't like him. I mean, you can tell from last season she was not happy.
This all comes from last season, but the season before that, when Oberyn died...
Was that not last season?
Mm-mm.
That was season... Damn.
She wanted him to...
avenge him. Wasn't it?
Not in that sense.
I thought she wanted to start a war because they killed him.
Yes, but when she was talking to Oberyn, she didn't want all this stuff. So when Oberyn died, she's... you can see a change in it, but to this extent, no.
To overthrow and kill?
Yeah, because they just basically kill people. And apparently, the guards don't do anything, so maybe...
It seems, well, she talks about her own people, his own people hating him, whatever, and then it cuts to all the other guards except for the one big guy they killed, and they all have like a look of hatred on their face. Yeah, I didn't notice it till the second time I watched it.
It is very strange that it just seems to come out of nowhere, this hatred.
And everybody. They only had to kill one guard, his own personal assistant. Yeah,
it's like one guard held back this whole thing. No. And then he died like a bitch. One stab.
Yeah.
And then they go to his dumbass son.
You think... I would have thought people like those women that are so prided themselves on being fighters, she stabs him right in the back of the head.
Oh, they're sneaky bitches.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like they pride themselves on their fighting ability. So to sit there...
They're opportunistic.
Yeah, she even calls her, you greedy bitch.
Yeah, opportunistic.
Yeah.
For sure. He's a dumbass for doing that. Like, really?
Yeah, you never turn your back on an enemy.
Especially not, what are they... Sand sisters or spider sisters?
Bitches.
I don't know. Bitches leave. That's what I would have said. Well, anyway, he gets a new nose.
Yeah. It was good effect, too. I watched it the second time.
Yeah,
it's not like The Walking Dead when somebody gets stabbed in the head. It looked a lot better.
Oh, melon heads? They just barely push it in?
Yeah.
That's a bit rough there.
After that, it cuts to...
Arya?
No. Baldy and Shorty.
Oh, yeah.
Dinklage number 2.
Yep. These are...
I could not even remember Peter Dinklage's name.
Tyrion?
Tyrion? Is it Tyrion?
Are you gone full retard on this?
Yes, I could not remember
anything.
Baldy and Shorty.
You were taking notes and couldn't do it. That's crazy.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Okay, so Tyrion and...
The eunuch. Or eunuch. Is that
eunuch?
Eunuch. Yeah, I'm eunuch.
Yeah.
The eunuch. Just walking and talking about the state of the whole place without her being there. And they come upon the whole fleet. The whole harbor's been burned.
Yes. They talk about the politics of the city and how it's on a teetering point.
Yeah.
She changed the world that these people knew, and some of them didn't like it. And you don't. I wish I knew the unit's name. I can't think of it right now.
I can never remember his name.
But he says that he has his little birds out finding them, and they've got to have a leader somewhere. Now, I was thinking, who could the leader be? It could be somebody we haven't seen, but I think it's somebody we have seen. I don't think it's Littlefinger. When I first
in the city,
yeah, when I first thought of it, I was like, man, he's not. He's all his stuff is on Sansa.
Yeah.
I think it might be her little lover guy, Davos. No, not Davos. What's his name? The guy with old Stony.
My next note.
Jorah.
Captain Friendzone and the replacement. Because that guy was replaced, also. And he's the replacement to Captain Friendzone. So
there's a theory that he might be the one running the show.
But he's not even there. He's out looking for her.
Not there now, no. And there's no attacks going on now.
Yeah.
They burn the ships in the harbor, but I watched it right before you got here, and they have these clerics or priests or something preaching good word about the mother, and they're preaching. It's kind of like a heretic. So they're saying, oh, we should do this, we should do that in her name, in her honor, all this stuff. We need to light the flames and all. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, well, they burned the ships, and they're talking about lighting flames. Could it just be zealots, over jealous zealots, burning it until the mother returns, like not letting people leave or something?
Yeah, that could be.
I don't know. I just literally just thought of that part of it because the first time I didn't see what all that priest was saying when he was preaching to the crowd when they walked through.
Yeah, I didn't notice it at all.
Yeah, and it could be the Harpies. It could be something else at play there. Then we cut to...
That's where it goes to Captain Friendzone. Mm-hmm. Them searching for her. He admits that essentially he loves her and follows her. And it doesn't really talk much.
It shows his stone...
Yeah, his arm.
Stone disease.
And then it goes to...
Khaleesi.
Yeah, Mother of Dragons.
Yep, where we get a little revelation, she plays coy, she can speak full
Dothraki.
Yeah.
I can remember that name.
Mm-hmm. And so she hears all this stuff, and then she presents herself.
Yeah, all her names.
She thinks it's going to be something.
And they just laugh at her, and you can see immediately she's like, oh, shit. I thought I had something in my back pocket or under my sleeve.
But then she mentions
Khal Drogo. Yeah. And essentially finds out she's going to have, live the rest of her life in like a widow home.
Yes. She didn't know this part of their culture, which I find that hard to believe as well. Because she was mentored to what is expected of her in the first season, essentially. That's when she learned how to speak like them, and that's when she wanted to learn the ways of her people. Well, wouldn't she already know this? But anyway, she's exiled, essentially, to some temple.
Yeah, it just says like a widows of all the other...
so she thought she was going to go back to Mezzarine. I think it's the city name. And turns out they're going to take her to some holy land or temple that she's going to join some other bitches or something. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that.
From there, it goes to I can't remember her name. One of my favorite characters. I can't remember her name. The blind girl.
Not gonna tell you.
Okay.
It's Arya.
Arya. Thank you. Fighting with the girl from the Temple of Faces or something.
Okay, so
this is like one of my favorite characters. And last season, I just hated. I hate the whole temple thing.
It had moments where I was like, but it didn't. Oh my god, we didn't need it. We didn't need it. We didn't have any of Bran, which is all about stuff like this, like mystics and But we have her, where they're explaining she has to give up everything. She's got to be a nobody, and she killed the wrong person. Well, now she's blind, and she's put out there to see. Yeah. She's put out there to listen.
Yeah, listen.
I think that's her ultimate goal in that. But it's almost like they're putting her through trials it's like, I don't understand where it's going. But then again, I haven't read the books on purpose.
Yeah, I haven't read the books.
So maybe that's why we have such a hard time with the names.
Yeah. I don't know. It hasn't been interesting at all.
It hasn't paid off in any form for me. on this storyline.
Maybe it will this season. I don't know. I liked it better as her and the
I like
Hound.
the assassin. Yeah, I liked her and the Hound, but I liked the idea of the assassin, the many-faced.
Yeah, when you first saw him the first time, when she gives her the wishes or whatever, that was really interesting. But this isn't to me.
Because he could kill anybody.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And from there, it goes back to Jon Snow. Thorne's trying to lure everybody out, telling them they'll be safe and all that. And Davos essentially says, yeah, I've dealt with people like him my whole life. He'll kill us all if we go out there. And from there...
He's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's, like you say, he's one of my favorite characters, too.
Yeah. So, we go to the Red Woman.
Yeah.
Which is... Well, let me go back to my note on her. I think it shows her take that necklace off, and she all of a sudden is like a 400-year-old lady, is what the story says.
That's what it says. To me, she was like an 80-year-old lady.
Right.
She wasn't that old. I mean, she was old, but...
Right.
Anyway.
But, so, we get that, and then everybody's like, oh, it's got something to do with the necklace, because they paint it in that way. You know, last season, you see her in a tub, totally naked, with no necklace on. And she was young. You know, this was... I think maybe...
He kept trying to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. I think this might be what's the portrait of Dorian Gray? Is that the old story where, you know...
I've heard it, but I don't really know anything about
well, it. I think this may be her... It's two things. It's her... The way she sees herself because she's lost her faith.
Mm-hmm.
Or because her faith is waning at this point. What little bit of power she has left, she's always put on this persona. She's always hidden behind this illusion, and that's all brought on by her faith.
So you think the necklace is just like a red herring, just to throw you off the path?
I don't think the necklace is part of it. I think it's all within her. It's her internally. She has that struggle, so her faith wanes so much that you see her as her real self, and she might actually be on the verge of a crisis. So if she finds her faith and is restored, she might then have the power to resurrect Jon Snow.
Yeah. I really had no idea. I know when she took it off, it lit up a little bit, and then it died.
It flared.
And I just, as a guess, I thought maybe she might use it to bring Jon Snow back.
I thought about that. Like, she put some of her life force into it.
Yeah. And
so she's got to get into bed and heal, and she'll put that necklace on Jon Snow, and it might bring him back.
And then he has to wear a choker for the rest of the time.
Yeah. A little girly-looking man anyway.
It's like, I can't take him seriously. He's got a red ruby choker on.
I just think it's funny because he's like, you know, during this whole time off, they're like, oh, Kit Harington's not going to be in this season, so he's dead for sure. He's a lot in this episode.
Yeah, he did, but he's in there.
But he's in there.
That's the first episode. We'll watch the second one.
It was a good episode. It had a lot of stuff to say in it. I
don't expect a lot from the first one or two anyway. And I wouldn't want an episode to be ever action packed and people dying, because it doesn't make when it happens special. So I understand there's always going to be lulls and slow points. So
now this show I do like better than Walking Dead. I feel Walking Dead has found itself in its own little rhythm. It does the same thing through the season. And Game of Thrones, I thought was into that, but every now and then they'll throw that wrench in there and totally throw you off. Like, I'm excited to see what Bran is doing.
Yeah.
With all the three-eyed raven stuff.
Yeah.
And all that. And see, I don't know. I think they'll probably give him the ability to walk, because I think he's as tall as Hodor is now. The boy shot up like a freaking corn.
Weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested to see where it goes. It's been a good show.
And like I said, there's only about 2 seasons left. So we have a lot of moving to do. So I expect the show to pick up in pace. And when it doesn't, it's really going to start to worry me.
Yeah. Especially when they have 10 seasons, or 10 episodes a season. So, it's not like Walking Dead with 20 or something. Yeah.
Right. So that was our Game of Thrones discussion. We're going to watch it tonight, and we'll get back with you in a week.
This week's episode.
Yeah.
Our winner of the contest didn't get back to us.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get a hold of her.
Yeah. So he drew again, and
Justin Ferguson.
We contacted him. We've already heard back, so he'll be getting that soon.
He's my old GameStop buddy.
Yeah.
I used to work with him.
We're going to have another one for this week.
We have some good stuff coming down the pipeline.
This week's going to be a Batman illustration.
You want to do it this week?
Yeah.
We got Civil War this week.
We can do it for 2 weeks. I mean, we'll let it run.
Let's do the contest for 2 weeks.
Okay. We can let it run. We'll let it run for 2 weeks. It's a Batman illustration by Joe Stroud on Etsy. She has her own page. You can go to our website, countdowntogeektown.com, and there's a sponsor page on there if you want to get to her stuff. It's really cool. She does a lot of comic book characters.
It's really, really awesome. I want her Doctor Doom cover for sure.
There's so many things I like on there.
And I was thinking, should we make this only for people that listen? So, like, we'll tell them what they need to do, and they do it, other than a post.
So just like they have to email in, essentially. Then
essentially
that'd be the only way we'd really hear from it. I don't want to do Skype because nobody wants to do Skype.
Just email us in at countdowntogeektown
at gmail.com.
And that's
go to
capital
Facebook
C,
page.
capital C. Yeah. We'll put up a status with our email on it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So you'll follow it, and so. We don't have huge numbers of listeners, so your chances of winning this awesome art really goes up.
1 in 5.
Essentially, yes. So if you've stuck around this long, and you will email us and
let us know what your favorite iteration of Batman is. Whether it's the old Adam West Batman, a certain run of comic, a certain author, or illustrator,
because we're giving away a Batman picture.
Yeah. It could be Batman versus Superman,
which I desperately wanted to keep the picture, but I can't.
Yeah. It's lucky I got the pictures. I will distribute them.
I'm sorry, they're awesome. Okay, so go and tell us your favorite version of them, and
why you like it so much. Why does it rise above all the others?
And it doesn't have to be a big long.
Yeah, it's going to be a random drawing.
Yes.
You just have to do this to get in.
But your odds are ever in your favor on this one because you're looking at maybe 20 listeners, and there might be some lazy ones that won't email at all. I mean, if you like art, I mean, this girl, her art is very unique as well. Yeah,
she does a really cool job. She's based out of England. Mm-hmm. That's where she sent us 3 different pictures. This is the first one we're going to have as a contest. Mm-hmm. But check her out. Like I said, you can go to our website, and there's a sponsor page. She's the first one on there.
Yes. I wanted to do this to reward our listeners. That's why I didn't want to put it on a Facebook. In the future, we can do Facebook once to broaden our scope. But I do want it to be about the people that have stuck with us. We're not the best at this. Yeah. By far.
So we need to pay you to listen.
Yeah. Basically.
We pay you in Batman.
Basically. It's like, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
But if you do that, your chances go greatly up that you're going to win this awesome piece of art.
And 2 weeks from now on the podcast, and only on the podcast, we'll announce who the winner is. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have to contact us again.
Chosen at random, just like last time.
Yeah.
So we'll get you out there, and like I said, this is pretty awesome artwork.
You can check it out. I mean, she has them still. It's a print, so you can go on there and see what it looks like yourself on her website.
Yeah, we wouldn't ask for the originals. Yeah. I mean, that would be $200-$300 worth. Yeah. I mean, it's good art. So that's our contest for this week. And like I said, next week is Civil War. Bearing in mind that I don't have to work every day, hopefully I can get out and go see it.
Yeah. I'll probably be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be next week. Do we want to talk about it next week? Spoilers? Yeah.
That's when we spoil everything.
Yeah, we have to stay topical on it. So, so we're going to talk about Civil War next week.
We'll have our weekly news. Yeah, I can cut it all out. We'll have our normal weekly news. We'll probably throw in something else we've watched or something else we're interested in. Yeah. And then we'll break down Civil War.
It will mostly be about Civil War for sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And I'm looking very much forward to it. I hope it lives up to all my hype. From what I've heard, best Marvel movie so far.
I saw Kevin Smith posted it as the best superhero movie ever made.
Yeah.
Which is a surprise because if you're a Kevin Smith fan, you know that he gives almost everything a positive. He always looks for the best and everything. But yeah, they talk pretty bad about Batman versus Superman. I was surprised. Yeah. So he said this is the best comic book movie ever made. So I'm looking forward to it. So, after reading the comic, I wasn't as excited just because I don't see it being as big of a deal
as it is.
But I'm still excited.
Yeah. So we want to thank you for joining us on episode 7. We were all over the place on this one. A little disheveled. I had that little vacation, but I think it was a pretty good episode as it turned out. You know, we finally got to talk some football. So, and we got a new contest going on, only for you folks. So
2 weeks you have
2 weeks to send it in. What would be 2 weeks from now? Eric So it would be the 15th. You have till May 15th to get those in. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a paragraph or 2. It's just got to be
just one sentence. So who's your favorite? But
who's your favorite and why you like him?
Yeah,
you know, could be that he doesn't go, I'm Batman. Yeah, it could be that. But I look forward to seeing all the emails we're gonna get. But thank you guys for joining us for May 1st, actually.
Yep.
So this is Jesse.
This is Eric.
And we'll see you later.
Check you later.
Bye.
Check you later.
Countdown to Geek-Town.
So,
post credits. All right, so there was a news story that we left out, and it was actually dealing with Civil War. Now, when you go watch Civil War, everybody knows to stay for Marvel movies.
Yeah, almost a majority of comic book movies, but almost all Marvel.
Except for DC's. Yeah. DC's have now decided to be like, oh, we're not going to have fun.
We're too good to do that.
There is 2 guaranteed scenes at the end of Civil War. So if you stand up in front of me, I'm going to kick you.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. I'm getting to that age. I really don't care.
Donkey punch right in the back of the head.
I really don't care. I'll get punched. I don't care.
No, I said you're going to donkey punch them.
Yeah. I'm pretty big. I'll take them on.
Yeah.
But there's 2, and I'm looking forward to what they set up in this movie to go toward Infinity War.
Is that Avengers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to talk about our favorite post-credit scene.
In a post-credit to our own podcast.
Yep. In a post-credit. Oh, we're going super meta on this one. We're going, was Inception.
Yeah.
We're going into Limbo.
So, what is your favorite?
My personal favorite was at the end of Avengers. Not the Swarmer scene. That was added last minute. My personal favorite was when we first saw Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
It was right at Avengers hype. So it sounds snotty for me to say this, but before Avengers hit it big, not a lot of people was as deep into the comic books movies as they are now.
And they weren't also, they'd never seen a big assembled cast like that.
Yes, and they weren't, they liked Iron Man, so they went and saw Avengers, pretty much. So when I saw Avengers and I saw Thanos, I knew instantly who it was when I saw his shoulder pad, but people around me didn't. And, that was
me. I didn't know.
Well, that was, and yeah, I did. I had to tell you who it was. And that was kind of something special for me, being the fanboy I have been all these years with Marvel Comics, to see somebody on the screen that isn't a huge name player, but as it turns out, is the biggest and baddest in the universe.
Yeah.
Almost. It's got Galactus over him. But other than that, I mean, it was just like, oh, this is a post-credit scene. And there had been some pretty good ones before that.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man with Nick Fury and all that. And the one you're going to talk about is pretty good as well. A little confusing.
Yeah.
At first.
I kind of don't know the storylines or anything, but just out of nowhere, didn't see coming. And especially with a shitty movie. Mm-hmm. But my favorite that I can think of off the top of my head is the end of X-Men 3, where...
The Last Stand.
Yeah. Xavier has essentially taken over his brother's body.
Yeah, twin brothers, identical twin.
And you just hear his voice. And just hear, after seeing Xavier get killed off, which I hated, to hear that, I thought it was a really cool scene.
Supposedly his brother was in a coma,
Yeah.
which in the comics his brother is actually Juggernaut. So, his stepbrother or half-brother or something like that. But supposedly he was in a coma. Maybe this explains why he still can't walk in the movies. I guess that's how they wrote it off. It was poor planning on 20th Century Fox. Again, it seems like the only people that really knows what to do with a long storyline is Marvel.
Yeah.
They planned it out. 20th Century Fox have since made strides. I really liked X-Men, Days of Future Past.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I really thought they were able to blend in, First Class, which was my favorite.
It's also seeing some of them in their actual costumes, like from the comics.
Yes.
Some of those. That's really cool.
Bryan Singer, I don't know what it is. He still refuses to do the colored costumes. I don't know. It worked. It worked. I don't know why you don't stick with it.
Yeah.
But
they did it. He did this one, right? Apocalypse?
No.
I thought Singer was doing Apocalypse.
He did. Yeah, he did that. But I thought you meant no. They still wear the dark costumes.
Yeah, but you can see it with whatever Megan Fox's character. You can see her with that a little bit. And Jubilee, I think it was.
Yes.
The 80s bright yellow jacket. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I did like hers.
So
what have you seen?
So this was our little favorite post-credit scenes. Another one that's really good is the 22 Jump Street one.
Yeah, the many.
Yeah, and there's a lot to that one. That's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, so. And then the Winter Soldier with showing the twins, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. That's cool.
Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Ant-Man, the most recent one before this, had a scene that's in Civil War in it. There's been several of it, but for me it was Thanos. For you it was a bald guy in a stretcher.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
The greatest X-Men.
Yeah. For you, it was Charles Xavier coming back. That a whole lot of people didn't know they had an end credit scene on that one.
It's crazy. I stay for almost every movie just to see if there's one.
I mean, we have since.
Just so you know, there's not one in Jungle Book because we stayed.
We've stayed quite a bit for a long time. I think Pirates, first Pirates movie, was kind of the first time that Hollywood started doing it for sure. The first one I can remember is Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
And there was a nod to it in Daredevil. But this was
Dogma.
Everything
to Dogma.
Yeah. And this was our little post-credit thing. So, again, thank you guys for sticking around.
Peace.
Bye.